Josh, love the name, by the way. Josh hit us up from San Angelo, Texas. He said, will the new era of college football, like NIL and realignment and expanded playoff, will that attract more fans to the sport? This is the question that I really want us to ponder on a little while. Whether you're listening morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I want you to think about this for a second. I know what I love about college football. You know what you love about college football. What is it? For me, it's regular season games in the fall. It's going to campuses, campi, plural, put an I on the end of it, it's plural. It is the leaves changing, it's the weather changing, it is the coming together of people from all walks of life. Some of them are alumni, some of them aren't, and you're in East Lansing or you're in Knoxville, and it's just a magical feeling. Now, you know, my personal viewpoint on the sport is that is paramount, and anything after that is just secondary in nature. Even like conference championship games and playoffs, I love all that, but it's not the crux of what I love about the sport. Because the way I see it is every sport out there has a playoff. Not every sport has what college football has in the regular season. In fact, no other sport does. So that's what I love about it. You define what you love about it, but whatever your definition is, put it in the blank, and then ask yourself this. Do you think we'll have more of that thing in the future or less of that thing in the future? And I think a lot of you are shaking your head right now. A lot of you are a little bit sad, got a long face on your complexion right now. I think I have that with you. I think I look ahead and I look at the direction that the sport is going, and I ask myself, the stuff that brought me to the table won't be in as plentiful a supply down the road. Now, certainly, we will have Saturdays in the fall. We will have that. I don't think the value and the importance and the magnitude that they had in a bygone era will exist in the future. I don't think that. I also think if you fell in love with the more romantic amateurism aspect of the sport, you know, you play for the love of the school, you choose where you go. They don't draft you. You choose to be an Arizona State Sun Devil, and you go there and you play for pride and love of the game. Yeah, again, second time I've used this word. That's a little idealistic. It's a little unicorn and rainbowish, but that's fine. I've never had a problem with that. That's when I was a kid, that's how they taught me about college football, and I assume a lot of you have been taught the same way. Well, when you throw NIL, when you throw a lot of what I think we're headed towards in terms of revenue share and whatnot, when you throw that in the mix, you're not falling in love with that anymore. It doesn't mean you can't fall in love with football. It doesn't mean you can't fall in love with college football. I just don't think in the future some kid is going to come along in 2033 and say, you know what? I'm 17 years old. I have decided I love college football because those kids don't play for the money. Those kids just play for the love of the game. No one's saying that anymore. It's not the way it is anymore. So I guess the answer is I don't think that the new landscape of college football is trending towards adding huge numbers, multiplying the mass that we already have here. I don't think that. Now, that goes back to a question we asked last week. Does that mean the game is healthy? And you got one of two ways you can look at that. You can either say no, based on what I think we just agreed on, most of us anyway, or you can say the sport, the conferences, the powers that be are making a lot of money, therefore it's healthy. Doesn't matter if we're adding numbers. It's healthy. And I disagree with that. Obviously, I disagree with that sentiment. I think baseball dealt with this. You know, baseball's been in a crisis lately of trying to speed up their game. Because why? Because attention spans are shorter. Because why? Because they're trying to attract a younger audience. Because why? Because younger people abandoned watching Major League Baseball. So for a while, had big media rights deals, and people were dumb enough to look around the boardroom and say, we're making all this money. It doesn't really matter if we're adding new people. It doesn't matter if we're bringing in younger viewers. I mean, it matters. They weren't dumb enough to say it doesn't matter at all, but I think they were dumb enough to say, well, we're making money. That's the most important number. It is in the short term, but over the long term, if it's an investment, over the long term, you've got to replenish the coffers. You know, I don't know if you guys realize this, but people die. People die every day. Some of them are college football fans. Some of them are Major League Baseball fans. And if you want to maintain the health of your sport, number one, you have to be very calloused and be able to talk like I am right now. And number two, you got to replenish. You got one that exits, you got to have one that comes in. Hopefully you would have 1.25 that come in for every one that exits. And that's called growth. And I don't think college football is necessarily positioned to do that. Now, obviously and selfishly, I hope I'm wrong about that. And maybe I am. Maybe there is a new facet that brings bigger numbers to the table. Who knows? Maybe I'm in the minority and a ton of people will just love an expanded playoff. Like that will be the impetus for bringing a ton of folks to the table. I hope that that's the case. For my survival, I hope that's the case. But I don't know that we've best positioned the sport to grow. And I don't say we. I shouldn't say we, because a lot of things that are happening right now are kind of out of our control, aren't they? Yeah, we're in this together in that vein.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.